Our Across the Aisle segment tonight, the 2020 Democratic presidential primary is already heating up, with a handful of candidates announcing or preparing to officially announce their candidacy. Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard and former Obama Secretary of Housing and Urban Development Julian Castro became the latest Democrats to jump in the race. And we're going to talk to a Democrat about what he thinks about each candidate. Laramie, good to see you. Who is your pick for Democratic 2020 presidential candidate and why? Which of these candidates?
That's a tough question at this point. I mean, we've entered presidential dating season or whatever. All the presidents are being super coy. Do they like us? Do they not? Are they going to run? Are they not going to run? At this point,
this is like
really
fantasy football, Laramie. If you in your fantasy football presidential league, who do you pick? Who do you want to win?
So when I played fantasy finally for the first time this year, and it's agonizing. It's just one constant game of regret once you see that you picked the wrong person.
That sounds like the Democratic primary,
two different kinds
right
of
there.
Candidates. Or the last 2 years of Trump's presidency.
I don't know. I think I got that. I think I got that joke first. Let's talk about some of these. Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Gillibrand. I mean, who do you like? Who do you not like? Who do you think has a chance? What do you think is going to hold them back?
So those are the two things that you're always struggling between: who has a chance and who represents your particular values, and hopefully they overlap, as it did for me in with Obama in 2008, and to a lesser extent Clinton later. Elizabeth Warren has been a champion of workers' rights and of small businesses and of individual citizens facing the powers that be, which are not, are often pursuing profit over the public good. And she helped create the, Consumer Protection Bureau, which went after, bad banking practices when it came to mortgages, payday loans, and lots of other small things. She had a bit of a misstep with the Native American
I was going to say she also
revelation here recently.
Championed Native American rights, right? She stood up for minority communities. Oh, wait, no, she exploited them. Can she culturally appropriated, you might say, to use a leftist term. Can she get over that?
I'm not familiar with that particular right-wing scandal. I'm familiar with a lot of them. I do know that whatever candidate there's going to be, conservative media will isolate three things.
A right-wing scandal? I thought cultural appropriation was an invention of the left. They said you can't identify as anything that comes from a culture from which you did not emanate.
I have a personal connection on this particular point, as do, I think, thousands, if not millions, of Americans who have some idea that there was perhaps a great-grandparent that was Native American. I personally, family lore has that there's one on each side, and it's incredibly common if you have family that comes from the Deep South, where there was a lot of white people living in close quarters with Indians.
Do you identify as Native American in your workplace? Do you identify as a minority?
Well, there's a... I don't, but then neither does Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, she did. She did at Harvard Law School.
She did once.
She wrote it down that she was a minority law professor. And she had to self-identify to do that.
It's a lot more complicated than that. She did not use it to get into college. She did not use it to get a job. She did not use it to get loans.
It doesn't seem complicated to me. It seems like she lied. We can talk about that more.
Oh, if you want
and I'm sure as the primary continues, we will continue to talk about that. I will give you the last word here. You can pick Tulsi Gabbard, Kamala Harris, Kirsten Gillibrand, Bernie Sanders, or any other. Do you see any of them being, I guess, not really the dark horse because they're all announcing early, but do you see any of them taking an early lead and being the favorite?
I mean, Bernie Sanders built a really strong campaign that nearly upset Hillary Clinton the last time, and has a lot of energy and a lot of infrastructure. So I could definitely see him taking the lead, but it would also be nice to see, Pakistan has had female prime ministers, patriarchal Pakistan. So to have that other perspective in that office, I could see somebody like Kamala Harris, who doesn't have the baggage that Clinton did when she ran for president, or that Elizabeth Warren has somewhat accumulated. I could see her
Well, interesting. I think it's going to be a really fun primary season.
It's early.
I can't wait until the Democratic primary debates start. That is going to be, we are going to have so much fun with that. Laramie, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was great to talk to you.